On this show, we speak our minds and open yours. This is
Bongari Drummo.
It's the headlines.
DA in new turmoil as DeLille might not resign as mayor after all, and US slams one of the worst cover-ups in Khashoggi case. A very good afternoon. I am Rose Rataga. The DA could be facing more political turmoil over the resignation of Patricia de Lille as Cape Town mayor, reported on Wednesday. According to the online publication, de Lille might not resign at the end of this month, as was announced in August. At the center of the turmoil are two contradictory reports by law firm Bauman Gilfillan. In one report into corruption and maladministration in the city of Cape Town, de Lille is reportedly found to be a complicit in irregularities. The second report, however, absolves de Lille completely. The reports, said to be tabled in the council on Thursday, have been leaked, much into the annoyance of Western Cape Speaker Dirk Smith, who has reportedly launched an investigation. It was reported on Wednesday that several high-placed sources had informed the newspaper they were aware of de Lille's intention not to leave office on October 31st. According to that publication, de Lille's closest confidant, Rodney Linted, said he had advised her not to resign and that she had agreed to it. The United States on Tuesday, it was revoking its visas of Saudis involved in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, as President Donald Trump ridiculed the kingdom's response as one of the worst cover-ups in history. The move came as Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said Khashoggi's killing inside the Saudis' Istanbul consulate had been meticulously planned in a speech that overshadowed a long-planned investment forum in Riyadh. Saudi leaders have denied involvement in the killing, pushing responsibility down the chain of command. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman strongly said that he had nothing to do with this. This was at lower level. US President Donald Trump said, adding he had spoken on Monday to the prince and his father, King Salman. Catch me again at 2:30, bringing you your latest sports bulletin. Temperatures remain 24 degrees Celsius in Johannesburg, 29 degrees in Lagos, 13 degrees in Washington, D.C. If we have missed anything newsworthy, feel free to let us know. We are Brand Live Radio on Twitter, brandlive.co.za on Facebook as well. I am Khaukhelo Rebel Rose Rataha on Facebook. Next up is the Dramatic Talk with Bongani Drama.
Man, I just got paid. Yeah, it feels good. Trust me. I won't spend all this cash tonight.
I love my work and it just got paid. I love my work and it just got paid. Yeah. I say the book says one-on-one that's when you weigh in. A good pay used to pay, put to up my stress. Crime pays, watch me kill versus me versus me. I'm my only competition. Week after week, more hits, boy, grinding. I see them getting weak, cause we throwing heavy punches. Bringing up the round, I'm the only one paying. Haters don't like good shit like Satan. Won't stress about them, I'm out here getting faded. But they wanna elevate above Molly and the whalers. Must spend it like my first pay, drink it like I'm thirsty. Everything I'm wasting money, please just ignore me. You ain't my financial advisor, please don't advise me. Any, many, money, more money, that's for sure. No one born on reposol, painting pictures with my flow. Hip-hop Michelangelo, it's all for the dough, ho. I love my work and it just got paid. I love my work and it just got paid. It's my money, I'ma spend it how I like. I work hard for it, be no lie. Please don't stress me, bride, this is mine. Let me throw this money in the sky.
I grew up, but all All I knew was I wasn't gonna die poor, so I stood up, Bukdalang Bodindala grew up. I'm not good at saving money. I invested, spend it for I make it China. I'm so reckless when they told me to save money for a rainy day. I told them I'm the one that makes it rain. The cost of living is expensive. All my debit orders bounced. I withdrew all the money in my bank account. My daily limit is your monthly limit. A cell phone number has lesser digits. Man, I'm just kidding. I'm a floss like a dentist. The devil wears Prada, so I stay fresher than the VIP section has a dance floor. Where the models at? Where the models at? Where the champagne bottles at? It's really sick, Gandhi, really cognac. Put me in more presidential suits than the president.
I love my work and I just got paid. Nigga, nigga, nigga. I love my work and I just got paid. Nigga, nigga, nigga. It's my money, I'ma spend it how I like. I work hard for it being all
His name is Lesson, all the way from Limpopo. This one is titled Payday, folks. Right here on the Dramatic Talk on BrentLive.co.za. Quite interesting. It's a Wednesday. It's 6 after 2 Central African time. Thank you so much for streaming in. If you have been streaming in, it's going to be quite an amazing one. Thank you to Chiamano Makado on Heroes at Work, keeping you on the loop from 1:30. And of course, quite an amazing jam-packed show that I have for you. I'm hoping that you're gunned and ready for it as well. Coming up on the Convo Corner, we are going to be talking about the reason behind pregnant women being attractive to other men. Now, folks, we're going to, I want you to let me know what you think about that one on 0621729002 and hashtag the Convo Corner at Bongani_drama at Brent Live Radio on Twitter, BrentLive.co.za on Facebook as well. I want to find from you. It's quite interesting because I know a lot of men who are attracted to pregnant women per se, and if you are a woman that perhaps is facing that, or you probably had someone that was telling you that they are going through that, or have experienced something similar to that, let us know. And I want to find from you really what you think about that type of phenomenon. And on Dramatainment, what Skinny's Boo's mom said about his on-air rant. Obviously, we know that he just wants 5 million rands and nothing else. Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson, I did mention that this engagement was going to be a flop, and that's what happened. So no wedding bells were planned. At 2:30, Rose Rataka brings you your sports a bit later. Mark Worldwide is going to be joining me in about in about 19 minutes, and he's going to be letting us about his music and what he has been up to as well for a little bit of a chill and chat. 7 after 2 Central African time. Hi Rose, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Drama?
I am fantastic. How has your week been this far?
It's been good, actually. Quite a productive week.
Stunning.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
School mostly, and just some insightful work.
Yeah. Insightful work. Is this work out of school?
It is out of school, but
Right.
it's in cooperation with school. So
nice. I
hand in
see.
hand. They work hand in hand.
Okay, fantastic. Alrighty, folks, working hand in hand. Let's work hand in hand right on the Dramatic Talk on BrentLive.co.za. If you want to interact with us one more time, 0621729002 is our WhatsApp line. Leave a voice note, and you can be anonymous if you want to really divulge on our Convo Corner the reason behind a pregnant woman being attractive to other men. 8 minutes after 2 Central African time. Welcome aboard the Dramatic Talk.
Askulumeni in the Convo Corner.
Check this out.
It's time for the Convo Corner.
It is absolutely time for the Convo Corner, and obviously we're talking the reason behind pregnant women being attractive to other men. Is it something that you've noticed? I'm not going to say experienced, Rose, because obviously you have never really been pregnant.
This is actually the first time I'm hearing about it, so it's quite surprising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stunning. And I mean, I don't know if did your mom share probably her experiences with regards to maybe she probably was, attracted to other men.
My mom and I never talk about these things. She's such a private person.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should talk about it because we're women.
Yeah, I think so too.
I guess it's the hormones that they release that makes them so attractive.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Right, but they say pregnancy makes a woman glow, which is something that we always see. But for some of the opposite sex, the female, form talks on an altogether different perspective. Now, this is especially the case when there's, bun in the oven, as some men go potty for a pregnant lady. And now this is of course nothing new, as women have been portrayed through the ages as sex symbols. Now take for example the iconic image of Ursula Andrews, if you remember, Rose, appearing from the sandy golden kissed beach in the Dr. N.O. Now this capsulated Andrews into the fore as she took on the role of Honey Rider back in 1972. But I mean, here's the thing, in generally, when men look at women, they just see these scrumptious, amazing things that they just want to lure into bed, or whatever the case may be, right? But if you're pregnant, then if you're a pregnant woman, then it really means, it's something else beyond just that.
And it's quite funny that women in that situation actually feel the opposite about themselves, because they feel heavy, they feel that they are unattractive, and they just want to get through that 9 months, especially in their 7 months. They feel like they just want to get through the whole process, because my aunt was recently pregnant. She has a newborn baby, and in her 5th month, she told us that she wants her baby shower when she's 7 months pregnant, because she doesn't want to be looking horrible in pictures, and she doesn't want people seeing her in that position at 8 months. So she was like, she wants it 2 months earlier.
Oh, because pregnant women, judge themselves so much.
Absolutely.
Anyway. So one little thing that you might say to them, it might really offend them, because of all these emotions that they have and they've acquired, because they're pregnant women. So in as much as they see themselves ugly, but this man, the natural fact, just wanna, but it's all mostly for sexual intentions, nothing else.
Now
it is mentioned that they developed into a craze when the white bikini took some style. It was regarded as one of the finest cinematic fashion moments in all time. Now we all know that ladies look great in a two-piece, but women can show off their pregnant bumps when dressed in a particular garment. Now fashion also plays a pivotal role in the portrayal of pregnant women per se, and Andrew's bikini was helped to aid the monumental swing. Now it is pretty normal to be attracted to pregnant women. Evolutionary, it makes sense, because you already know this woman is literally terrified, by you, or willing to have a child, by all means.
I agree.
It's
quite interesting, actually.
It is very, very interesting, because as we mentioned, a lot of these women look at themselves and they go, but I'm so ugly. Really, am I supposed to be, being liked by these men? What is happening with my life?
And I just wonder what the males look into, because like you said, it's sexual, right? So which part of the women, because she's got a big belly
completely,
or is it in the early stages, or when she's showing that they are mostly attracted to these women?
Let's find out, because here's someone who actually has a story to tell. Her name is anonymous. Now one evening at the end of my second trimester, I was standing in the dairy aisle of the grocery store, with one hand on my back and the other obviously over the kicking baby in my distended belly. Now a young man approached me, initiated conversation about the World Cup, and casually asked me if I'd like to watch the game with him that weekend. "You are pretty," he whispered, right? And I was shocked. I wasn't putting out a sexy vibe, not at all, she mentions. I'd assume that any male attention I receive in late pregnancy, include that from my husband, will be friendly and really not sexual. So even with her her husband, she didn't think it would be that sexual. She'd probably be looking ugly, as we mentioned. It didn't. Now why would a man who's not the expectant father think pregnancy is sexy, she was asking. But then other women told me similar stories about how they got ahead on the 3rd trimester. So I decided to look into it, and it turns out that a study on sexual attraction to pregnancy has recently came out. Interesting. Here's what happened. Now, a team of Swedish and Italian doctors led by Emanuela and Magnus recruited nearly 2,200 men who had joined online fetish groups, and now they presented a questionnaire that asked the respondent questions about their preference, for pregnant and lactating women. I beg your pardon. Now, the survey also asked for the sex and age of each sibling, and whether the sibling is a full adopted child. Right? Now, you must find out those things. Are they adopted, or are they half siblings, type of thing. Now most respondents reported both a pregnancy and a lactance preference. Now the average age at which respondents became aware of their preference was about 18 years of age. Now what Janine and Angus and their colleagues were searching for was evidence that there was something special about upbringing of men that are sexually aroused by pregnancy. Listen to this, very interesting. They knew that a specific stimulus early in their life can elicit sexual behavior when that animal reaches sexual maturity. Now for instance, goats that are raised by sheep are sexually aroused by sheep only. This is called sexual imprinting. Are you following?
I am. So I'm
Right?
I'm getting it.
But listen to this. Is it possible that boys that are raised by women who are pregnant or nursing are especially attracted to pregnant or nursing women? So if you're 8 years old and you look at your mom who's child with your little brother, your little sister,
Yeah.
you obviously when you grow older, then you have this perspective about pregnant women in general that you wanna
Yeah.
probably take care of them because you saw your mom going through something at a young age.
Yeah, I think it also has to do with the Oedipus complex, where males are mostly attracted to women who are similar to their mothers. So it makes sense for them
Yeah.
to be likely attractive to women who are nursing at that point because it's been in their face before.
Completely.
And they looked and they found it normal or naturalized.
Yeah.
So that's why they're most likely to be attracted to
be
women
attracted
who
to
are
women.
pregnant or who are nursing at that point.
It's actually very interesting, right?
Yeah.
And now a younger sibling is the key to early exposure. The respondents who, erotized pregnancy and breastfeeding had significantly more younger sibling than expected by chance. Now, respondents with one sibling were older than their sister or brother in 66% of cases, right? Interestingly enough, siblings born on a different mother does not appear to be related to respondents' sexual preferences, like because a stepmom, for instance, isn't a boy primary mother figure, right? So it changes as it goes. Only a boy's own pregnant mother seemed to leave a sexual imprint. So if you were raised by, say a stepmom, so to say, then you wouldn't have such a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
But is it really a problem?
Well, look,
You think-
obviously, because if you are pregnant, then it means you have a partner. Why are you
Yes,
attracted to
that's
another
what I
woman?
was getting to as well. I mean,
Right?
don't these men think these women have a partner if
But,
they're going to
you know,
whisper in that woman's ear?
It's psychological more than anything. It's psychological more than anything, I think. And it can only be taken away if you really work on it as a man, I think.
Absolutely.
Right? Now, someone else wrote to Bella mentioning, "Dear Bella, I have a problem and I would like your opinion." Now, she was mentioning how she's pregnant and confused. She is literally just attracted to her colleague at work because the colleague is there for her. She's pregnant. The colleague rubs her feet. The colleague takes, care of her. And so what happens is that now she feels more attracted to the colleague more than her husband.
And she's actually married.
And she is quite married.
I thought she was talking about like a deadbeat father, maybe.
No. But also, here's the thing. She mentions on how I haven't spoken to my coworker nor my husband about this, but I'm merely confused. I really don't know what to do, and it's getting worse every day. I need your opinion. Now, she mentions, I have to say I have a good husband. However, we are away at work all the time. Hence, I spend more time with this other guy at work. He's my co-worker, right? So whatever mood I'm in, this guy seems to be there at all times, and he seems to understand. So it's a matter of that. It's really a matter of, the husband not really taking care of, the woman. Now, a comment coming through on Facebook from Tula Sizwe Gukundlovu says, for some of other reasons, some of, not most pregnant women, actually have a very high sex drive, as the study is mentioning. And, it makes for an interesting situation because often they are either not in a great, intimate terms, in terms of what we spoke about, you and I. Well, in actual fact, that they don't probably look amazing, or the case maybe they're not probably having, prinyakos with the husband, and so the sex drive is probably more stunning.
Yeah.
I mean, I had two guys the other day were talking. I was at a supermarket, and I mean, these are guys from the township. And how the other one was mentioning that she, he loves this girl, but the girl got hitched by this other guy, and she's with child. And the friend was like, no, but go in and put in a finger and an ear there, or a nose if you mind. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Wow, is this actually happening?
It's quite interesting, right? Now, this the comment from Tula mentions that they find them attractive. They're trying to be cautious, or the father or the partner rather, MAI. So they just fall for the other man showing interest. Men on the other side just love the thrill, and generally, men love available sex. He mentions.
Is it available really?
Yeah, because I mean, if the woman goes for it, I mean, what Tula is literally saying is the fact that you as a woman are not feeling the husband doesn't want to even look at you or doesn't want to touch you anymore, and you feel like the same problem that this anonymous had is the same problem that Tula is talking about. Then you find someone else who's going to take care of you, someone who cares about you, someone who really understands what you're going through as a woman.
Somebody who's going to contribute an ear.
someone's going to go contribute.
Or,
But you know, the answer that came from this was that, dear pregnant and confused, pregnant women go through all kinds of emotional changes, and one of them is the need to comfort, from their partners. Now, this is your third pregnancy, and clearly you survived the first two with your husband. I think you will survive this one without complicating your marriage, right? Have you spoken to your husband about your emotional needs, which is something really interesting? Tell your husband how you're feeling, what you need, and how you need to be treated as well, because you are pregnant, you are with child, and it becomes such an emotional thing, because then perhaps your husband doesn't want to look at you, your husband doesn't want to sleep with you anymore. You probably, it could be anything. So you need to sit your partner down and let them know how you feel.
Yeah, it's quite sad actually, but understandable as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Wow, pregnancy is a lot.
Yeah, pregnancy is such a
lot.
thing. It is quite a thing. So I'm hoping that if you are going through something or similar to what we're talking about, hashtag the Convo Corner at Bongani_drama, Brand Live Radio on Twitter, brandlive.co.za on Facebook as well. If you want to be anonymous, keep it anonymous by all means if you want to. And we just want to find out from you what you think really. 0621729002 is our WhatsApp line. Leave a voice note and let us know what you think. Call us through as well. Let's divulge. We're going to keep the conversation happening throughout the entire show. Hashtag the Convo Corner. 20 minutes after 2 Central African time, right in the dramatic talk energy. Vuma, Mike the Most. Enjoy.
I don't record in the booth. She want the gin and the juice, pools, got on your cools. If she don't give it up, then I'm a Uber. Her to the crib, the music no glue. I'm done on your fool. Most of these rappers, they sound like my tune. Your oohs for proof, but I got the Vuma. Yeah. 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 This money got me feeling anxious. When I get it, I'ma answer. Baby got me on the cancel. Says I'm too busy, can't handle. Attacking the game, I'm miserable. I cannot handle your fakeness. You cannot handle my greatness. I got a baddie called Cindy. She like to try all this weird shit. She always down for a quickie. And my body middle me again. We had a chat about real shit. They got me bringing this energy. They try to mess with my energy. They cannot take all this energy. They try to mess with my energy. They try to mess with my energy. They try to take all this energy. They cannot mess with my energy. They cannot mess with my energy. They cannot mess with my energy.
They cannot mess with my energy. I put a case on my enemy. Feeling get a charge for you play a quick. Squatting on the way like my lemon team. Say I get a bitch. It's got boss and down, but you mess with my past, yeah, but hang on me. Getting the cheese, but I'm saying this. Making you freeze, not to get a twitch. I'm Bambegi, I'm a ghost, yeah. Getting high in his hole, yeah. Uringa go make it a filial jiggy. I'm hanging on like the most. If I to say baga spider. The shoe don't fit, I just decide. He ain't engineering a study pass. He ain't engineering a study child. Sama socha wanyempela febe spelling pin. They say I'm full of darkness, marang vele min. Ungas mosheli skachi system 17. Man, you can never mess with my energy. Nyasika nyempela, makolo kuspit uzobrika nyajela. Funu kumtini uzoqina ubaleka, sokushaya ngrispina with quitters pelele. They cannot mess with my energy. They cannot mess with my energy. They cannot mess with my energy. Man, they cannot mess with my energy.
We just bought a new place. My gang and my clan are in case. I stand with the realest, you'll never catch us trying to buy face. I'm in my space, different mind state. Haters eating from my plate, but you can never get on my steak. That's my money, nigga. The top got top bellow, I just did some lines. I did 16 at the back of the bus. Performed it to crowds and they all caught the bus. The money is coming, I'm not in a rush. My gang in your suit that you driving no cars. Walking the club, babies making a fuss. Hoping that I might just spend at the bar. Yeah. I got the Vuma. Yeah. I got the Vuma. Yeah. I got the Vuma. Yeah. They tryna mess with my energy. They tryna take all this energy. They cannot take all this energy. They cannot
I got the full knowledge. Yeah,
Mike the Most. This one is titled Energy Vuma, right here on the Dramatic Talk on BrentLive.co.za. It's 24 after 2 Central African Time. Let's go to it. It's time for Dramatainment.
Extra, read all about it.
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
It's the Dramatainment.
Absolutely time for Dramatainment. And I don't know if the first story we have for you in the Dramatainment, but just technical glitches that we're having. Let's fix that very quickly. We'll be right back.
let's do it right. Let's do it for dash. I pray you get the type of love that never holds a grudge. The type of love you never wanna live without. The type that picks you up when you're feeling down. Where the waters really flow when you're not around. Cause I got you in my sights and Tombazan. Let a nigga do you right, Tombazan. Let my lumen them the price, Tombazan. Get the day, there's the brand, Tombazan. Cause a nigga is available emotional. Take you to the mall, so to wash your mind. Cause I want you now, anybody. Cause I want you now, anybody. And I hope you get it right though. The same way you want that iPhone. And I hope you get it right though. The same way you want those nice clothes. And the next time you cry and mess up your makeup, let it be for love. Next time you cry and mess up your makeup, let it be for love.
You give me love, you give me love. You give me love, you give me love. Boy, I don't care what anybody says. You in my heart, I ain't letting you go. If you say
Great Faith and Fusela Utanjo right here, the Dramatic Talk on BrentLive.co.za. 14:26 Central African Time. Let's go. Do it one more time. Dramatainment.
extra, read all about it.
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
It's the Dramatainment.
It is absolutely time for Dramatainment, and just making it a point that you understand that on the Convo Corner we're talking, the phenomenon behind pregnant women literally just being, attractive to other men. So we really thank you so much for your comments. Tula Sizo, see, thank you very, very, very much for your comments as well. Quite interesting that you mentioned the fact that, they need more affection. They need, they've got more emotional stuff that they perhaps need to be talking to their partners, about. Alrighty, but now though, Dramatainment, what Skinny Boo's mom said about his on-air rant. Now, last week, South Africa was shocked to see the business go on frenzy live on television upon being given advice about entrepreneurship. Now, this fellow Skinny Boo, going missing about a month ago and going to a psychiatric ward following his depression. Now, it's also sparked a conversation about young entrepreneurs and depression. Now, when given advice on the news channel, he mentioned how he doesn't want any advice but wants 5 million rands. Now, Skinny Boo mentioned on another radio station when confronted that Skinny Boo's socks are not failing or falling. Now, the issue right now is the social media experts with their fake accents that are saying things about the brand. Now, Boo mentioned that he was no longer angry. However, he will not mince his words. He went as far as mentioning that his mom spoke to him about this issue, and Skinny Boo mentioned how he's mentored by big guns in the industry, and that means fast growth into the business. He mentioned that the business is at its breaking point, and 5 million will go towards making sure that they employ the right staff. Right? So here's Skinny Boo, an entrepreneur, up and coming, selling socks. They're not doing that well here to sell some of his valuables. And now I just think it's a little bit of a depression and stress that, came about because he needed to be, ordered into a psychiatric ward. And he comes back. He doesn't want anyone's advice but 5 million rands.
Why?
He wants to, keep the business afloat.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he should maintain the balance within him first before he can go out attacking people.
Completely.
You know what I mean?
He's not attacking anyone. I just think he's going through a lot, and I think social media could play such a huge role in terms of he probably sees that there's a lot of other businessmen and entrepreneurs coming up that are really are doing it, and he's probably thinking that he's failing. And I don't think he is failing. I mean, Skinny Boo has made quite an amazing amount of money when he was coming through, and his business has been growing and growing. And I think I remember remember asking myself, socks, and then what?
Yes.
Because it does get to that point. It's like, Laduma Makos, I was really worried about it. And I remember asking him as I'm like, okay, I like the symbols you put on your brand, and I love the print, but then what's next?
Yeah.
Don't you think that people are gonna perhaps, it's after at some point people are gonna be, wanting to see something else, something new. But I mean, then it's up to the entrepreneur to see what they do, revamp, or look at what they can do with their whatever they're selling.
Yeah, and the receivers do get bored at some point.
Completely.
But I just wish him the best. I wish he gets back on his feet.
Completely.
Pulls up his socks.
Completely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and gets back into it.
All right, just to wrap up Drama-tainment, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson engagement was a hello, no wedding planned. Now, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson both seem to know marriage wasn't in the cards even after they got engaged, because they never lifted a finger to seal the deal. They got engaged in June, and our sources say an entire summer passed without looking down at a venue, buying a wedding dress, or even picking a date. We are told Ariana talked about a wedding with her mom, but that's all it was, talk and nothing else. Now, the months in action predated the death of Ariana's ex, Mac Miller, right? And apparently Mac Miller passed away knowing that Ariana Grande is getting married to someone else.
Yeah, that must have broken his heart even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, here's Ariana, and I remember mentioning on Drama-tainment on television, on my television show that used to play on Khao TV at 9 p.m. every Friday. And I mentioned that Ariana Grande and Pete, I don't think that Ariana should be, involved with Pete. Ariana and Pete looked like a couple where the 17-year-old's parents are saying to her, don't date this man with tattoos and is doing drugs. And you fall for it because he's, Pete Davidson. And because you're in love, you are young, it's like young love. And you get engaged and things are happening very fast for you. Very quickly. And so I just think that it's something that shouldn't have happened at all.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you live, you learn.
Completely.
She's learned her lesson. She's experienced that.
Completely.
So hopefully she'll do better next time.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Alrighty, folks, that's what I have for you right here on Drama-tainment. Hashtag Drama-tainment. Want to hear your thoughts? Let us know what you think at Bongani_Drama. Brand Live Radio on Twitter, BrandLive.co.za on Facebook as well. It's just 1 minute after 2:30. It's time for your sports.
Buckle up. Now, this is Bongani Drama.
Time to talk about sports.
Don't touch that dial.
It's time for the sports news and the sporting stars of tomorrow right here on
Brand Live.
Kickstarting your sports news this afternoon with soccer, not billiard, but Katsande in Chiefs' real threat. Is Chiefs' real threat, says Mokoena. A very good afternoon. I am Rose Ratacha. Orlando Pirates assistant coach Rulane Mokoena says they have been working on a way to prevent Kaizer Chiefs from playing through Willard Katsande. The Buccaneers and Amakosi lock horns at a sold-out FNB Stadium on Saturday, with the arch-rivals separated by just one place and 2 points in the Premiership table. Kama Billiard will be marked man if he's passed first to feature against Pirates, but Mokoena believes Katsande poses the real threat for Giovanni Solina's side. The Zimbabwe international has established himself as one of the best central midfielders in the country since moving to Naturena from Ajax Cape Town in 2001. Willard Katsande is always the focal point and an important part of the axis and the foundation of the team. A very matured player, a very important player for them, he said. And in tennis, Federer opens up on retirement plans. As the tennis career of the legendary Roger Federer winds down, he revealed he will not sit idle in his retirement. The Swiss ace has been a mainstay of the ATP Tour for 20 years, and it's crazy to think while his first title came 2001, 17 years on, Federer is still winning Grand Slams, but the years have taken their toll on aging legs, and Federer has skipped the clay court swing to get altogether for the last 2 seasons. Now, the 37-year-old has to realistically start thinking about hanging up the racket for good. After my career, I will not sit on the sofa, the 20-time Grand Slam winner told NZZ. And in cricket, Du Plessis provides insight into Proteas World Cup plans. Proteas captain Faf Du Plessis addressing Johannesburg media on Tuesday ahead of the 3 ODIs and 1 T20 in Australia provided some valuable insight in the preparation for next year's World Cup and what the side and what the side for that tournament might look like. Du Plessis, thanks to a couple of niggling injuries, has had his participation in Proteas colours disrupted so far in 2018. Those worries are a thing of the past now, and moving forward, he will be central to everything the Proteas do between now and May next year, when their quest to win a first World Cup gets underway. Catch me again in the last few minutes, bringing you your last news bulletin. Temperatures remain 24 degrees Celsius in Johannesburg, 29 degrees in Lagos, 13 degrees Celsius in Washington, D.C. If we have missed anything sports-worthy, feel free to let us know. We are Brand Live Radio on Twitter, brandlive.co.za on Facebook. I'm Hello Rebel Rose Rataha on Facebook as well. You're still tuned into the Dramatic Talk with Bongani Drama.
It's the official Major World Online Stu Invasion.
Bars on bars.
What about me right now? It's about our guest. Bafethi skip on. I'm out in Matalele. Bafethi. I'm a playing in the studio. Bafethi skip on. Oh, freestyle nyana. Shenge freestyle. Fana kuma no baba Andy.
Hey baba Andy. Hashtag.
Ahlanganisela mawuthi beat dog. Ngiyacela.
Young niggas ambition, waking up is working for money. Changing the past, feeding the fams, balang lali. We keep it running like SPV, exchanging money.
Man, nice. Hey, nice. Call them unexpected experts. White sweatshirt.
Hey.
Looking down on these niggas, my damn neck hurts.
Woo.
You can go ahead, homie, give me your best work. I bet you take your phone out and mumble up your first words.
Live from 27 boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.
This is what you missed on the social show.
My first question then is, where are these hubs of economic development? Which township do I find a hub of economic development? Why must, if the focus is really capacitating the disadvantaged, why must I climb onto 3-4 taxis to get to a certain area? A certain area has got about 6 to even 20 of these, right? Coming from Alexander or Tembisa. So you then find that there is a township economy, but the people that are living within this township economy, that are starting businesses in this township economy, are not full participants of this township economy.
For more, go to www.brandlive.co.za.
www.brandlive.co.za. Obviously, the Dramatic Talk with Bongani Drama, 14:37 Central African Time, right here on brandlive.co.za. Now, folks, the new hip-hop hot property, Fresh Talent, thought-provoking lyricist and the game changer are some of the descriptions you get when one speaks of the music industry challenger, Mark. Now, through the attention-commanding singles, he has performed in numerous places, such as one of the, most renowned clubs in Pretoria, Moloko, Taboo in Sandton, and most of other venues that he's performed in as well. Mark, welcome to the Dramatic Talk.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming through. Last time you and I spoke, we were at the other radio station, and you were still up and coming as well. And I'm so happy to see most of the things that have happened in your life.
No, of course. You gotta make progress.
Yeah.
Always been hustling.
Completely.
Yeah.
Now you have become such a household name in the hip hop sphere. What keeps you persisting so much?
I'm consistently just always hungry, man. I never cease to. I don't get full.
Yeah.
I just keep wanting more and more and more and more. I just want to keep getting high and high and high and high.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's so great because I can imagine as up and coming, right? And here you are trying to make something for yourself. You're not that known in the hip hop game, and you're just climbing the ladder, and you keep persisting by all means, right? Is there anything else that happens in your life? Because you could be someone else who says, you know what, I'm forgetting about hip hop. I'm gonna get a 9 to 5.
Sometimes you get those moments, man,
Yeah.
where because this industry, you deal with so much shadiness.
Completely.
You know what I mean? Someone tells you, like, you submit something and they're like, oh, you're number 75. Then you wait, right? And then after, let's say, 6 months, they're like, oh no, you're number 74.
Oh no.
It's like, what?
But it's been
exactly. I've been here. I've been
waiting.
like, yeah, you know what I mean. Sometimes the things you have to deal with. You know what I mean. Recently had this, PR companies trying to sabotage my endorsement deals.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? It's just like, is this all worth it?
But you learn from it, right? You learn the type of people that you need to trust and who needs to represent you well as well.
Of course, definitely. I mean, but the struggle is real. Plus, right now there's like a hip hop drought going on.
Oh no,
that no one's talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
I want us to divulge on that a little bit later. I want to find out about that. Now, growing up, did you ever imagine your life being what it is now?
Did I ever imagine it? I'd say I was so consumed by other people's visions and dreams for me that I did not see myself as a musician.
Really?
I consistently saw myself through other people's eyes.
Really? But are you saying that a lot of people were probably wanting you to be something else?
Yeah.
Not a hip hop artist?
Yes.
And what are these other things? A doctor?
Yeah, like a doctor.
A cop?
A carpenter.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like
interesting.
Engineer.
Sharks, obviously.
You know what I'm saying? Anything other than a musician.
But did you see the vision at least? When you decided not to listen to all these people and block, the noise, and said, "But this is where I want to get to."
Yeah, in 2003, I saw it. Like I literally saw it, and it just surpassed every vision that they try and implant in my brain.
Hey, interesting. Now you're also labeled as the very first unknown artist to debut on Slika's website. How did that come about? Because can I just pause a little bit for me, and I apologize because for me I just feel like Mark is not up and coming anymore, or
of course I'm not. That's like old news.
I really think
it's like that's like 4 years ago.
I mean, that's what I'm saying though. I mean, when you are also, this is huge because you're unknown. A lot of artists that come on Slika's online show are well-known artists, but for you it happened and you were not known. How did it come about?
I've always been throughout my whole career. I always knew that the most important thing you need to focus on is the people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if you can get them behind you,
yeah,
and give them good quality product,
completely,
they'll follow you to the end of the world. And before that, I made sure that I got that right. I made sure I went to the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And gave them the best music. So by the time I debuted on Second Life, because basically how I met Slika, we were trying to get into Bada Bing at the time.
Okay.
So we had like a relationship. We were in talks with getting into Bada Bing and
interesting,
all of that stuff. So he told me that he's launching this site. You know what I mean? And blah blah blah. He didn't say you can be on. He just said I'm working on this right now, so I'm a little busy. I'll get to your demo.
Nice.
When what, and then I sent him my music, and he saw the response behind it. He's like, okay, there seems to be anticipation. I'm gonna give you a shot. Because Slika's always about giving, people a chance. And then when he gave me a shot, I remember we debuted, and it was the most streamed song, and it was going against Karakar at the time.
What?
Chaos Karakar, and there I am, this unknown artist.
Wow. Competing with these big stars. But I mean, then it gets to show that if something is for you, it doesn't matter who else is in the room with you. You always rise.
Of course. I mean, as long as the people got your back, trust me.
Interesting.
Carry with you a lot.
Right, and I'm hoping that whoever is listening out there, an up and coming also would get to an up and coming in any other genre, that they're part of. It could be anything, could be in the entertainment sphere, it could be in the music sphere, it could be anywhere else. If you're coming up, just stay being persistent. Alright, 14:42 Central African Time, still having a challenge with Mark Worldwide. Now, what are some of the most difficult challenges you've ever encountered, apart from anything else, apart from record companies, apart from you having to submit your music and being told you're number 74, and after 2 months you're told you're number 75?
The other challenges, man, apart from that, what would be the other challenge? Because everything else, it goes great.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's consistently having to deal with these different personalities in the music game. Also, I'd say also one of my biggest challenges is staying grounded while getting so much attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It can, come with its own baggage.
I can feel like my head getting a little, trying to get a little bigger. You gotta deflate it. You know what I mean? You gotta calm down. You know what I mean?
It gets crazy.
Yeah, like the you find I'll have people on my WhatsApp or my social media pages, I'll post that I'm on Brand Live Radio. The phone calls after posting that, my man,
it gets a lot.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It gets too much.
And then now I gotta I'm tempted to film myself at that moment. You know what I mean? And sometimes you find that you're on television, what, and then you start losing focus because you're thinking, nah, I got this, I can do whatever, you know what I mean? Everybody
and you don't want to
worshiping
respond back to the people, and they probably will stop not, responding to you either.
Exactly.
I think.
You know what I mean?
It's tricky, but I think you get used to it as you go. You're old into the industry, and I mean, you can't reply to everyone. That's something else that needs to, people need to know. I mean, when you do become a public figure, you do become famous. A lot of people, you get DMs that people are just like, but put me in. I'm just like, but how do you want me to put you in if I've worked so much, to be where I am?
And it's not like you're not the only person saying put me on or saying hey. There's probably like 100,000 heys in there. You know what I mean? It's like the lottery pretty much. And you do try. You try your best to reply to everybody. You try your best to be as nice. And some people are just rude.
People are just rude. Now let's talk about, is it Echo?
Yes, Echo.
Yeah, let's talk about Echo, the writing behind it.
Right now I kind of felt that there was so much music out that was just too hard for like our female listeners. And I felt that like a lot of in the hip hop industry, we're not very popular for appreciating the opposite sex, like females. You know what I mean?
All right.
So I told myself that let me make a song where I'm appreciating the woman in my life.
Nice.
And the woman out there, and talking about the good personalities and the characteristics of females instead of all the time just calling them
yeah.
You know what I mean? All you good, you know what I mean? Like appreciate those women that actually are ride or die. All those women that, like I talk in the song, is the woman that was there and she fed you when you didn't have any food and stuff.
Completely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh wow, interesting. I love that. I'm sure a lot of women, will probably want to hog onto it and will probably listen to some, amazing lyrics on it. And where can people find it? Is it out somewhere where we can?
They can find it on my website at thisismark.co.za. That's Mark with a C. Thisismark.co.za. Or they can follow me on Twitter at Mark Worldwide or Instagram at Mark Worldwide.
Amazing.
Facebook Mark Worldwide, SoundCloud Mark Worldwide.
Everywhere it's Mark
Worldwide. You know what I'm saying?
International.
Yeah.
That hip hop drought in 2 minutes.
Hip hop drought. Oh, okay. Right now, hip hop is just doing so bad. Everybody's releasing songs that are not really hitting the mark. So we've seen a downturn. That's why the video standard has dropped.
Oh wow.
If you look around, everybody's just been complaining about things not being fair. But that's just them being frustrated because there isn't that much money going around in the hip hop industry right now.
Shucks.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
All right, so we wait and see what happens. Perhaps when you become bigger and bigger, then that will change.
No, of course. I mean, I feel like people are losing touch with what hip hop really is.
Shucks.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to put it back.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad you're trying to put it back. That's very brave of you. All right. It's 14:46 Central African Time. Right on the Dramatic Talk on BrandLive.co.za. You like games?
No.
Not like video games?
PS4, PlayStation 4, yeah.
Do you like those?
Yeah.
We're not going to play PlayStation 4. We're going to play 5 questions quiz.
Okay.
5 questions, A or B, in 15 seconds.
Okay.
All right, let's have the clock in. Very quick.
Time for the five questions quiz.
5 questions quiz. Alrighty, do we have the clock in? A 15-second clock. It's in. Aries or Nasty C?
Aries.
With understanding or without understanding?
Understanding.
Impregnate her, leave her, or impregnate her, marry her?
Impregnate her, marry her.
With money and selfish, or poor with a giving heart?
Money and selfish.
Busta Rhymes or Birdman?
Busta Rhymes.
All right, fantastic, stunning. That was under 15 seconds. I'm so interested with money and selfish.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I feel like I experienced enough of big heart and poverty.
Oh my
God. You know what I'm
word.
saying? Some to experience, the racks.
Tell me about it. I actually asked myself this question yesterday, and after a good 15 minutes, I said with money and selfish. But alrighty, 14:47. Thank you so much, Mark. We love you so much, and wishing you all the best with everything.
Thank you very much.
All right, here's a brand new one by Mark Worldwide, and it's titled Echo. Folks, enjoy.
You know what it is, man. MARC. Summer 2018.
Siberia.
Everything looking really good right now. Yo, listen. Stepping in the music scene like I'm Charlie Sheen. Popping in the video scene and some magazines. Nah, I mean, I'm finna pull up with some paraffin and light up the stage and light up your world. Ain't nobody got it like you got it. The curves, the thighs, your hourglass body only shared with my body. Yeah, we finna pull up on these hitters on some Bonnie Clyde figures. See the love inclined, better figures. Woo. Woo! Now I'm about to spit something. Ish, ish. Can't you see the real love in the air? Come and take a breath, but it's fresh, clean air. Let me get an East Saint Laurent pairs, or switch up on some of my Cosa threads. The fashion sense, maybe David Taliled. Ain't no telling what gon' happen next. When I get a come over text, you know the only mark that matters blowing up next.
I got you and I know. Right with you and I know. You will be the realest, I know. You will be forever, yeah, you know. You got a love that I need. Siberia.
Now, got my back through the pressure. Whipping cream on my back rubs for the pleasure. You gave me food when I was pressed down. Never milked me, no nest time. Bunny child days just to pass time. Now it's cash time, yes. We used to go back and forth, fly south and north. All black like with golf, chilling in my homie gods. Fun times got me asking where the parts. Girl, you my number one. I'm a son of a gun. I'm finna have me some fun. No question, you the one. Biggest smalls with the charm, and you so juicy. Getting drunk off the deuce. You know what they say. When you got the real one, never mind what they say. When I get a come over text, you know the only mark that matters blowing up next.
I got you and I know. Right with you and I know. You will be the realest, I know. You will be forever, yeah, you know. You got a love that I need. Siberia.
Now, this is Bongani drama.
It's the headlines. Breaking news this afternoon, hip-hop star Double HP has died and US slams one of the worst cover-ups in Khashoggi case. A very good afternoon, I am Rose Ratacha. Well-known publicist and Double HP's wife Lerato Singadi confirmed to Sowetan Live from the scene on Wednesday afternoon that the star has died. Yes, it is true. I am with the family at the moment, said a traumatized Singadi. Details surrounding the hip-hop veteran's death are still sketchy at this stage. Double HP has in the past opened up about suffering with depression. Those close to the star, including AKA, have flooded Twitter with messages of condolences. Just heard the most terrible news. Another icon gone too soon, said AKA on Twitter. The United States said on Tuesday it was revoking visas of Saudi's involvement in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi as President Donald Trump ridiculed the kingdom's response as one of the worst cover-ups in history. The move came as Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said Khashoggi's killing inside the Saudi's Istanbul consulate has been meticulously planned in a speech that overshadowed a long-planned investment forum in Riyadh. Saudi leaders have denied involvement in the killing, pushing responsibility down the chain of command. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman strongly said that he had nothing to do with this. This was at a lower level, US President Donald Trump said, adding adding he had spoken on Monday to the prince and his father, King Salman. Catch me again next week between 2 to 3 p.m. bringing you your news and sports update. If we have missed anything, feel free to let us know on our social media platforms. We are Brand Live Radio on Twitter, brandlive.co.za on Facebook. I am Khaukelo Rebel Rose Rataha on Facebook as well. You're still tuned into the Dramatic Talk with Bongani Drama.
Shucks, sad news coming through right here in, in the South African music industry here. WHP having to have, we don't know, perhaps, committed suicide, because we really know that, WHP has, over the years been dealing with depression, and I don't know what to think about it. And, it's quite sad, someone like, I remember when I had an MC gig with the Arts and Culture Trust, and he was one of the judges there, and I remember him talking to me and giving me so much advice. And it is actually quite sad to have someone like Jeba, go like that.
Yeah, we just lost Pro Kid. Now we just lost another Motswako.
What?
And he like started Motswako hip hop.
Yeah.
So it's a loss to South Africa.
It is quite a loss to South Africa. I mean, WHP is quite, done quite numerous, things for the, SA hip hop industry himself, and with the Motswako, movement that was, coming through. But we wait and hear, the story unfold. Obviously, the wife, Lerato Singari, has confirmed the news to Chisa Live, and we wait and find out what, really transpired, and how, everyone else in the industry can help out, and, arrangements to anything else. It's really surreal, and I'm, don't want to believe it.
Yeah,
but we wait and see.
Yeah, I think the family is still in shock at the moment, so they will release more details on the news, and we'll hear more about it on social media. But may his family be comforted in their time of grief.
Completely, and may his soul rest in peace, right? Alrighty, folks, it's a 14:55 Central African Time. Roger the Dramatic Talk on brandlive.co.za. If you just streamed in, we're saying goodbye to you. This is the gate where we had quite an amazing show, including the Convo Corner. We were talking about the reason behind pregnant women being attractive to other men, and on Dramatainment, we obviously we're looking at Sboo's mom talking over, his rant on air, where he was literally just saying that he doesn't want any advice, but 5 million will do him very good. And Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson engagement was hello, no wedding planned. That's what we have for you right here on the show. And Rose Rotara brought you your sports, news at 2:30. And obviously, we just spoken to another hip hop artist, Mark Worldwide, who was in studio and talking about his new single Echo right here in studio. And that 5-question quiz also came through right in the Dramatic Talk on live.co.za. 14:56 Central African Time. Rose Rataka, what are you going to be doing for the rest of the week?
Tonight I'm attending a master talk hosted by Candice Mudisele. It's founded by a friend of mine. It's called Indibano. It's happening at the Indibano The Encounter.
Fantastic.
Creatives and professionals come together and talk about working ways into the industry as coming ups and as professionals. So it's happening at the Wits Theatre tonight at 6 o'clock.
Fantastic.
It is for free. The rest of the week is just committed to rehearsals and studying as I'm approaching exam season.
Fantastic. All the best to your exams, and all the best to each and every one of you writing exams out there. Study hard and play harder if you can.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Alrighty, folks, it's 14:56 Central African Time. Scuba the DJ Security. The name is Bongani Drama. Keep it, know it, and never forget it. God be the glory. An amazing one feather. Bye-bye.
Now, this is
Bongani drama.
Live from 27 Boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.